Hey guys, just a small project going on at the old Japanese farmhouse. This room used to be occupied by the old man who lived here previously. It's now occupied by the old man who lives here now. So it's sort of used as a computer room and just as a changing room and a place to store things. It has a few issues. One of the issues is that floor has been starting to give away, starting to break in the middle. There's some paneling coming off the wall. Fairly ugly paneling, isn't it? And we looked at this and contemplated a full renovation of this room, but decided it just wasn't worth it. So in the end we decided just to patch and repair what is there and just make it as sort of livable and as safe as possible for now. And then sometime in the future, if the use of the room changes, we might do a more serious renovation. But to get rid of that ugly thing around the top of the wall there actually meant replacing the sheeting on the wall altogether, which then meant doing the ceiling as well. So it just got out of hand, so we decided against that. So the most pressing thing was this floor was at risk of letting someone fall through it. So we had to find out what was going on there. So I lifted the first sheet, had a bit of a check there. Okay, now we can see what's going on. They'd laid down 3 layers of ply that weren't bonded together, so they didn't really have much strength, as engineers would know. If you've got 3 layers of ply that aren't bonded together, they're not as strong as 1 layer of ply that is. So the rest of the floor wasn't too bad, so we just decided to cut out that 3 layers of ply added up to 12 mil, which if you have one piece of plywood that's all bonded together that's 12 mil thick, it's actually super strong. So the plan is to remove the 3 crappy layers that are there in this particular section and replace them with a new 12 mil piece of ply. So again, looked at replacing the floor and laying down a new floor like we did in the other rooms, but just isn't really worth it at this stage for what the room's used for, and we don't really know what's going to happen in the future. So just have a look at this. The support beams, we showed you in one of the other bedrooms this arrangement, but this room's a little bit different. But this is common, the post at the bottom. There's a stone, that's just a big stone. That post sits on a big stone, and then you've got a bearer, and then you've got those joists, those small joists that are about 3 centimeters square. So they're pretty small, reasonably close together. That's a fortunate thing. So it all looks dodgy, but it all works. It's all clean. See the air vents there? Because a lot of the rooms had tatami in them, and some of them still do. Airflow is really important. You actually need to have the air flowing through the tatami floors in order to stop them rotting. So it's really, really important. So it all works pretty well. It looks all sort of dodgy, but that system actually works pretty well for a number of reasons. It stays nice and clean down there, which is good. That system with the stones keep the white ants from getting in the wood, but it also means that in an earthquake there's a bit of movement allowed there. Those wooden beams, everything can sort of stress and move a bit, but those beams are just sitting on top of those rocks, which means they've got a bit of movement there too. So it lasts pretty well. It's actually better than it appears. So yeah, lay down the 12 mil ply, a few screws in it, didn't bond it down just in case at some stage in the future we want to get down in that floor. And that's pretty well it. The rest of it was all not too bad. Pulled out that horrible light fitting that was there before, just hung down, and it was ugly and ridiculous, and replaced it with this one. It's a pull switch. We showed you this system before. 3 pull it once, you get 1 ring of fluoro, pull it again, you get 2. Pull it a third time, you just get 1 little light on its own. So it's the standard Japanese lighting system. We showed you that once before, but we don't bother using that, so we put the string away that they use to do that and just have it on off, so it's on or it's off. There was various bits here hanging down and giving way. That thing had been constructed using construction adhesive, which is sort of giving up a little bit. So it looks like this job was done sometime in the last 30 years ago or 40 years ago. It's fairly dated, isn't it? That wood panelling's pretty horrible, but But interestingly, in Japan, that wood panelling isn't considered too bad. So again, we weighed it up and decided just to go with repairs. So again, adhesive and nails, adhesive and screws all over the place, and just sort of tidied it up, made it a little bit more pleasant to be in. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't really warrant a before and after this room, because the only thing that's different is really the light fitting and the floor. The other repairs that were done to the panelling and to that ugly shelf thing that runs around near the ceiling, you really can't sort of see by looking at it like this. So, but it just felt bad, and you walk in that room and that floor was really dangerous. It was creaking and groaning if you stepped in that dodgy bit, and a big person could well have put their foot through it, so it was all pretty sort of dodgy. And that light, of course. So just replacing the light made a big difference to the room, and the quality of the light in the room now is better, of course. And then fixing the floor, so we laid down a cheap piece of carpet over the top, $20 carpet over the top, and then put a nice rug. That's a big $80 fuzzy rug on the floor there, big black rug. So it's made it better. It's only a computer room and a changing room, so now it's much more pleasant than it was. And at some stage in the future, if we want to use it as a proper bedroom or something, we can give it a better going over. So anyway, that's what happened at the old Japanese farmhouse this week. More videos coming soon.